Welcome everybody to the first show of SEC Under the Helmet, and I'm super excited that you all tuned in to watch the first edition of my show here. I'm Aaron Thompson, going to be your host for everything SEC football. And today's first video and first talk show we're going to be talking about is ranking all of the new SEC head coaches and the respectable teams they're with. Now, I'm going to be talking about the head coach and how well I think they're going to do with the team that they're at year one, right? Just 2026. Okay. Now, long term, this list could, in 5 years, this list could be completely different. Just year one, that is what we're going to be talking about. Now, I'm not going to be talking about LSU with Lane Kiffin or Ole Miss with Pete Golding, just because they're not really new. I mean, they've been in the SEC. They're not new. All right. So number 4, we're going to start with Ryan Silverfield over there at Arkansas. Now, this isn't a knack, right? I think Silverfield is the best hire for Arkansas. I think that was the guy for them. Okay, it is just too much for him to rebuild down there in Fayetteville year one. It's just too much. All right, way too much. And with the schedule that they have a pretty daunting schedule. I just don't see them having an amazing amount. Now, I think they're gonna have success. I mean, you can only go up from winning 2 games that season. You can only go up. I mean, you can go down by losing 1 game, by winning only 1 game. I mean, you can go down surely, but I think they're gonna win at least 2 games here. Let's go look at their schedule. Now, they do have their opening game against North Alabama. I'm gonna give Arkansas that one, right? Then you got to go to then you're facing Utah. Game number 2, which again, this game right here is very odd to me. They're facing Utah at 10:15 p.m. I thought that was just a horrible time. I don't know why they have that game set at 10:15. I mean, I get that Arkansas is not the best SEC team. All right, giving them 10:15 is just insanely disrespectful. All right, then you have Georgia. Okay, Tulsa, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Auburn, South Carolina, Texas, LSU. Just a gauntlet of a schedule. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you North Alabama, all right? And I might give you Tulsa. They really could only win 1 game this year. They could only win North Alabama, okay? I don't think so. I think Arkansas will pull up. I think they'll pull out one upset. I think they might upset, Utah, because I believe they might upset them. They could upset. I would say upset Vanderbilt. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be that great this year. They're losing everybody. Vanderbilt's losing everybody. All right, they're losing all their offense. Their team is definitely stepping back. So I think they could win that game as well. So I'm gonna give Arkansas. They can win at least 2 games there. Hopefully they can win 3. Now, and the thing about Silverfield is he is fantastic at 1-score games. He knows how to really put the nail in the coffin and finish off a team, and that'll be a great thing for the Razorbacks coming off 2-10 last year. Another thing about Arkansas that I don't like is the unproven talent. Right, they have 41 incoming transfers, and a lot of these guys haven't played really any meaningful football in college. Now, they've, a lot of them have played a game or 2. They've played a snapper here, but they haven't been starting, right? They're having a lot of starters that are just been redshirting the whole time. They've barely played any games, okay? So that's going to be a big thing. They're also having to rebuild their defensive backs is just a hole, right? They don't have any depth in their defensive backs. It's going to be a big problem for them. I think that's bad, losing your starting quarterback, but I do like KJ Jackson. I think that's a fantastic quarterback. He 441 yards with 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 85.1 quarterback rating. That is fantastic. I think he's going to be a great quarterback for Arkansas. He has a lot of promise. I really like him as their quarterback. So there's no questions about that really, right? He still isn't the starter because I believe they're having a battle for it, but I think KJ Jackson's going to win that one. There's a high chance him winning that. There is just one thing about Silverfield, in my opinion, that put him at number 4. And when he was at Memphis, he won a lot of games. When he was at Memphis, he won a lot of games, right? 27-13. That was fantastic in Memphis. But at all that time, you didn't make it to an AAC championship, right? You didn't make it. You made bowl games like every year, but you couldn't make the championship. You had all that time, but you couldn't make it, right? I see that as a big red flag. He's a fantastic recruiter, though. He's going to get all the recruiters in Arkansas. They're going to stay in Arkansas. I think that is a massive win for him. Number 3, I'm going to go Will Stein with Kentucky. Now, the only reason I'm doing this is because this is Stein's first time being a head coach. Will Stein is an animal when it comes to offense. He is a firecracker. He knows how to run an offense. He does. Okay. And he's going to be, he has Kenny Minchie with him, and he was basically going to be the starter at Notre Dame. If him and CJ Carr are battling it out last year, and he almost beat CJ Carr. And people believe CJ Carr is going to be the new Heisman this year, right? They were neck and neck. So I think he's got a great quarterback, fantastic offense. He has elite tight end with Rodriguez, and also has a DJ Miller too at wide receiver. They have a great wide receiver and quarterback, and they'll be good there, right? Now here's the other problem: running backs. CJ Baxter, that's all they got. Really, there's no depth. Everybody's injured. You're not going to be able to rely on that that offensive rush on run the ball. He won't be able to rely on run the ball at all. It'll have to be really heavily on the pass game. Now, I don't think that's a big problem. I think Kenny Minchie's going to figure it out. I think Stein's going to figure it out with the offense, and that's really good. But I have him number 3 just just because he's a young new head coach. Excuse me. He's young and a new head coach. Okay, he has year 1. He's going to have tons of just questions, and he's going to be looking at people for answers, and people are going to be looking at him for answers. Right. That's why I have him ranked number 3. He hasn't proven enough for me head coach wise. That's why I have him there. Now, number 2. I'm gonna have a lot of hate for this. All right. Number 2, I have John Summerall. Don't have him as 1. And people are gonna go, "What? You don't have John Summerall as number 1 new head coach in the SEC?" No, I don't. And it's because there's too many questions. Really. It's because there's too many questions. Okay. Summerall has only been winning. Troy, he has been winning. And then at Tulane, he has been winning. Made the playoffs last year. You're bringing in a whole new offense that haven't played together. Whole new scheme. Yes, you were able to maintain their defense. They ranked number 1 in maintaining defense in the country. That's great. That's fantastic. You ranked number 1 in retaining your defense. But their defense was ranked 32nd last year in productivity. They're ranked number 32nd. Is that really that proud to be for an SEC team? I don't think so. You might be able to beat them up a little bit, but I don't think that really deserves the praise it's getting. I don't believe it does. Right. Now, I do like Aaron Philo. I think he's gonna be a great quarterback for Florida. Right. If he gets a starting job, just not a blow me away kind of guy. Just really not. Doesn't blow my mind. Right. They are lacking they're lacking a lot of experience on the O-line. Okay. And depth on the O-line. So they're not, I feel like they're not going to be able to run the ball as well as people think they are, just because of the O-line. I don't think they will be able to, and that's going to be a problem. But I love how much of a culture builder Summerall is. If you remember beginning of the offseason, whenever they started spring practice, he would not allow them to wear the logos on their helmets. He'd take them. You had to earn that logo, right? I love that mindset. That's great. I think that was a great idea, and I think he's a great culture guy. I have number 1, Alex Golesh. Now, this is why I have it number 1. Alex Golesh in 2022 went to USF, or 2023, right? The year before he got there, they were 1-11. They went 1-11. Okay, they won 0 of their conference games. They went 1-11. That next year, the year he got there, they went 7-6 year 1. Talk about a turnaround. Okay, last year they were number 1 and they were ranked 5th in the offense in the country. Talk about a turnaround in your team, putting a team on your back and changing it completely. Right? He's transferring over and coming to Auburn. Now, he's bringing the USF Bulls with him. So it's really Auburn and the USF Bulls now, right? He's bringing that offense with him. To me, the offense will transfer immediately. So week one, when all these teams are having new schemes and new players, week one, they're going to have problems. It's their first time playing together. Week one, right? Auburn will not have that problem. I'm telling you right now, week one against Baylor, they will not have that problem. The only thing I would say that will be questionable with them will be their offensive line, but they still have experience on the O-line. Okay. They're bringing in an absolute stud in Byron Brown to Auburn. Quick stats from last year: 3,158 passing yards, 1,008 rushing yards with 42 touchdowns. Now, will he be rushing 1,000 yards in SEC? I don't think so. No, he won't be. Purely because Auburn has such a depth in running back room with Bryson Washington, Jeremiah Cobb. Their running back room is going to be good. Okay. So he won't have to rely so heavily on him running the ball. But Alex Golesh is such an offensive mind. If you remember back in 2021, 2022, Tennessee offense was ranked number 1 in the country. Year before that, they were ranked like 90th something, right? One year they completely turned around. Who did that? Alex Golesh. Okay. That guy is an offensive mind, and he has experience as a head coach in turning a team that was not great into a great team. Okay. They're also keeping DJ Durkin, which was a massive, massive success for him, being able to retain DJ Durkin as a defensive coordinator, being one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. So I think that gives him a massive win as well. But talking more about that chemistry with having the same wide receivers as well as your quarterback, they know each other. They've been playing with each other for years. They know how they think, right? That's why I got Alex Golesh as number 1. He's just there's not as many questions, right? I mean, the only thing I would say is that offensive line, maybe cornerbacks, maybe, but not a whole lot of questions. A lot of these questions are answered. And I can't say that same for Florida, and I can't say that same for Kentucky, and I can't say that same for Arkansas, right? Just not as many questions that are unanswered. So that's why I have him ranked at number 1. Now, let me know in the comments down below what you think and if you agree or disagree with the list. I think I nailed it pretty well. Now, if I did throw in Pete Golding or Lane Kiffin, I am not a Lane Kiffin LSU hype train guy, right? Everybody's got them winning the playoffs now, or making it to the playoffs. Now, with a $40 million roster, you should make it to the playoffs, right? You should. I don't know if you saw the spring practices with LSU. They had like 3 fights every day. You're having a whole team of guys that never played together, right? You're expecting them to win week 1. I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. And I would really put Lane Kiffin below Pete Golding just because of that. It's a whole new team of people that never played together, you know? And I mean, yeah, you have some guys that play together, but not majority haven't. Pete Golding has a team that has played together, and they have this strive to prove themselves that they are great, you know? They're just trying to prove themselves to Lane Kiffin, saying, I'm better, you should have brought me with you. So I think that Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers are really overhyped. I do. Let me know down below if you think they are overhyped or not. But yes, that is going to be my list for the new SEC head coaches. And I hope you all enjoyed. I will be talking later on another video on ranking quarterbacks, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching SEC Under the Helmet.